In the snowy north of the island of Hokkaido, a culture exists untouched by the imperial reforms of the Fujiwara. This culture is often glossed over within the wider pop history of Japan, the Ainu. Although they were not the focus of the East Asia update, the Ainu still have their own unique content. That is the practice of Ayomante, or the sending ritual. This is represented in Crusader Kings 3 by the sacrifice of a bear. To showcase this feature, I did a live stream in which I played as the Bara dynasty, founded by the great giant Saxton Hale, a family that would eventually unite Hokkaido and the Sakhalin Islands through tragedy and strife. Mr. Hale is a bit of fish out of water historically, a vessel to determine what could have been. Unfortunately for him, though, this would come at great cost. The cornerstone of our run is the religious tenet Takumin. This provides general hunting bonuses, but most importantly, you can gain martial and prowess through the ritual sacrifice mentioned earlier. Now, in reality, while ritual sacrifice of bears was important, the concept of sacrifice itself in Ainu culture was much broader in scope. Discussed by Utagawa Hiroshi in his contribution to the Japanese Journal of Religious Studies, the Ainu practiced such rituals to send back not just animals, but plants and even tools to their spiritual realm. It is believed that two realms exist, the realm of the Ainu and the realm of the kamuy. Spiritual beings from the latter visit the Ainu world in the disguise of animals, objects, and even forces of nature such as disease and fire. Truth be told though, I'm struggling to find an origin of the word Takumin itself. In most writing, I see terminology such as Ayomante, the sacrifice of a bear cub, or Apanure, the more general sacrificing of an animal. If anyone in the comments has an idea, do let me know. We start in the year 1066 in the Khotan of Soya. We care not for the ongoings of the Ritsoryo Buddhists to the south. No, Saxton Hale is focused on uniting his home of Hokkaido, or in his own tongue, Ainu Mosir. While focusing on the busy work of conquering land, securing alliances, all that fun stuff, got a very special visitor in my chat. Oh, she got pregnant. What? Hello? What the fuck? Oh my god! Our Heavenly Father, Jesus is here for everyone? You're right, man! Jesus, come on in! You know what, Jesus? Follow my channel! We love... I'm not fucking... You know, I'm not discriminating. Hell yeah, man. This might be a bad war, because he's kind of just sitting on his... While distracted during the war, Hale's home, Khotan, would find itself under siege, resulting in his daughter Zarya getting kidnapped. Not letting this stand, Hale would sail across the cold seas to rescue his daughter. The Ainu would soon find themselves with their first overseas territory. Hale may have had certain proclivities, but he was still a family man regardless. He dreamed to see the Barafan grow powerful. He even proved to have some hidden depth to him. Unfortunately, this would not last as tragedy would strike the Bara family. Perhaps out of vengeance for upsetting the balance between the kamuy and the Ainu, the peasantry would rise up, seeing the capital as undefended while Hale was out warring in strike. Hale would attempt to rush back home, only to come back to see that it was burnt to the ground. The vast majority of his clan would be slain by the angry Ainu, seen as Wen Kamuy, the evil spirits. Their only recourse was to send these evil spirits back from whence they came. Hale was a strong man, but this broke his heart. He looked towards his surviving family, deciding to turn to his wife in his grief. He was left with two surviving children who would have to take the burden of their fallen clan upon their shoulders. The leader of this radical group of tribesmen would soon be put to death. One day, foreign outsiders would land ashore in the Khotan of Seiya, and despite generally rejecting the word of outsiders, Hale was perhaps convinced by the beauty of their leader, decided to accept the people into his land with open arms. As time went on, Hale continued on his duty to unite the islands, though he believed it was time that he honored the kamuy by participating in a proper apanuri. He would feel the might of the ape kamuy within him, fueling further conquest of his neighbors. Hale would also decide to test his merit as a poet, declaring love to the distant ruler of Goryeo. He figured such a land with such a mighty Khotans could bear fruits. The Emperor would unfortunately reject his such advances, as Hale would make such a powerful ruler feel condescended. After years of conquest and misguided romances, Saxton Hale would finally meet his end. Although his Oppenor had gone successfully in the past, meddling with such powerful spirits such as those of the bear is not without its risks. Saxton Hale met his end at 42 years of age, succeeded by his son Davide Bara. Davide didn't quite live up to his father's legacy, spending much of his time trying to unite the islands under his banner. And at 20 years of age, Davide himself would meet the same fate that his father had. Davido's daughter Ted Cruz would soon take the throne at a young age. The Bara clan will hold enough of the two islands to finally be crowned the rulers of the Ainu people. The lands of the kamuy would finally find unity. Whether or not this unity would stand the test of time, though, that remains to be seen. This video is a bit of a test, different from my usual stuff. I might continue this particular run in the future depending, but honestly, I'll probably do something a little more serious with a few more historical info dumps if I do this type of content again. Because honestly, I love that shit. I love having an excuse to, like, you know, pull up actual documentation and stuff. It's fun. Honestly though, the Ainu start in CK3 is pretty boring and there's not really a lot to do. The Takumin mechanics are kind of half-baked, so at times it did feel a little like squeezing blood from a stone. But anyways, I have a link tree, check all that shit out. Bye!